Hey guys, Emil's here, and today we'll be trying out haptic feedback on the WINWING Ursa Minor today in the F-4E Phantom. So without further ado, let's get into it. So we are in the Phantom, and we are on the runway, so let's just start off with a takeoff. Flaps are down, and let's see how it goes. So I do have it propped up on a box because it is a little bit too low to keep it on the box under it, so this is the most appropriate place for it for me. But yeah, my desk is just a bit too high for me. So let's pull up. And when you pull up too much, it kind of vibrates. Well, the aircraft vibrates violently, and there's a very slight vibration in the stick. Now, this is the WINWING default preset for the Phantom, so if you make your own custom preset, very possibly you could increase the strength of that haptic motor. But yeah, by default it's pretty weak, but it is pretty nice and gives a little bit of extra immersion. I would like it to be a bit stronger by default. This feels... it doesn't feel the same as you see on the screen. It feels, you know, just like a little bit less. But it's still nice. So we put it in air to ground mode. We're also going to test some weapons here shortly. But yeah, also in these turns, the aircraft's vibrating slightly. So is the aircraft, but if you pull further, then it vibrates a little bit more. It's not much, but it definitely does help with immersion. So let's try not to crash the aircraft here. We did crash the aircraft. And when you crash it, it also vibrates very violently. Let's try that again. So when you put the gear up, there's a slight vibration for the gear moving up, but there is no vibration for the flaps. And for the air brake, there doesn't seem to be any effects either. So what we're going to do now, we're going to test some weapons. So to do that, we're going to take our hands off the mouse, off the stick quickly. We're going to set up our fusing, master arm on, put it into bombs, center pylon, and we are flying quite high. All but see, when we pull on negative G's as well, it also starts to vibrate. So pretty much anytime the aircraft vibrates in the game, it also vibrates. The stick also vibrates. So we're gonna do some quick bombing. We're just gonna go low and about 400 knots. We're gonna do some low bombing. Let's see. Let's find a road to bomb. There's one right there. I don't have the reticle set properly, but we'll drop it about correctly. So, let's see. It doesn't really matter, we're just trying to see what the effect feels like. So, let's drop the bombs. And since they were in a very close relation to each other, it was just one long sort of like one log vibration. But again, it was pretty subtle. It's not very noticeable. So now we're gonna test out some rockets. Let's change out to rockets. And yeah, let's fire 6 at a time. We have quite a lot of rockets here. Let's just fire it out of this field here. Okay, let's it's also vibrating, I think, because of the speed we're flying at. I'm not sure. Because it is currently having a little bit of vibration, even though the aircraft itself isn't shaking very much. It also could be a slats effect if those are active right now, I'm not sure. So let's try to fly, I guess, a little bit more level, so yeah. Yeah, again, one long vibration. But we are firing 6 rockets at the same time. So let's change that out for singles. So let's fire off one rocket. Oops, zoomed in a bit too much. So if we fire off one rocket, I would say it's a weaker effect, yes. So if you just mash the button, it's just a constant weapon release. Vibration, haptic feedback. There's a lot of rockets on this thing. Okay, there we go. That's all the rockets. But I wouldn't say it's very much different than the bomb effect. I think they use about the same vibration style by the feels of things. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments section. So now we can also test out the gun, why not? See if that's any different. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And it's active while the gun's active. So we wasted all the ammo, but pretty much while the gun is shooting, it's still vibrating, because when I release the trigger, the gun continues to shoot for a couple of, like, for a half a second. So the grip continues to have that haptic feedback in there. So it's not just like you press a button and there's feedback, you know, kind of sort of deal. It's actually sending feedback from the actual simulator. And I think that's pretty cool. Now we could try overspeeding the aircraft to see if I'm right about that haptic feedback. So we're gonna climb up high here, and we're just gonna... It is vibrating slightly, but I don't think it's because of the speed. Oh, but I'm pointing the nose down. It's hard to say what is causing those vibrations. That feedback. There is feedback, but I don't think it's because of the speed. I think it's just because I'm flying in a downwards motion. So I'm not 100% sure what causes those effects. But they're there, anyways. So we're gonna try to land on that runway there. So no force feedback effects currently. We'll see if there's anything. Okay. Let's pull up the engines, they're going a bit slow. Okay. Release the throttle.
100.
And... oh, we're going a bit fast. Oh, that was hard. But there was definitely vibrations there. Oof. Okay. I'm sorry, Jester. Okay, okay. Brakes, brakes, brakes. I think that deploys our parachute. And yeah, there was a constant, it's still sending feedback. And now it's stopped. So pretty much during the landing it's also sending feedback. That could have been because it was a rough landing, but yeah, it did work. So that's pretty cool that you even get feedback on the landing. So by default, the F-4E effects are quite subtle and are no stronger than the haptic motors in an Xbox controller. Now, this could be because of how the F-4E preset is set up in the WinWing software by default, so you might get a stronger effect with a custom preset. But even with it being more subtle than I like, it still gets you that little bit extra immersion in a budget-friendly stick. Which aircraft should I test next? Let me know in the comments. Alright, that's it for me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!